Yo, what is good? I hope everyone is having a great Tuesday. This is YingYangSports. I'm Justin. That is Joel, and we are also joined by Chase.
Bro, think
Shout out for
Bro, think he Jim Harbaugh.
Well, I ain't stealing signs, so I ain't Jim Harbaugh. Oh, whoa, sorry, didn't mean to say that. Anyway, this is YingYangSports. Glad to be here today. Joel, how you feel today?
Feeling good, man.
Feeling good, not the normal shit.
Got a nice workout in, man. Whenever you get a nice workout in, gets the day going good. Actually, so yeah, no, I don't really got too much to complain about.
Well, that's good. Chase?
Doing good, man. Hanging out here at the studio for the day, just kind of like trying to get as much as I can under the belt and just, hang with the fellas.
Well, we're happy to have you here today. Lots of stuff to talk about. I'm kidding. It's still the dead season of sports, but that's okay. We will make it entertaining for you. We got some topics to get into. Shout out Mike Reed in chat. He is there with his beautiful Ennis Rakestraw picture, which Ennis Rakestraw did practice yesterday. Still no word on him playing in the preseason game. Am I correct on that?
I haven't heard anything about him playing.
Okay. So as of right now, nothing on the Ennis Rakestraw front. Mike Reed says, "What up, though, Chase?"
Hey, what up? I'm pulling up the chat so I can say what's up to everybody in there as well. What up, though?
Dante, thanks for pulling through. So I guess with you here, Chase, is there anything that you listened to on the network today that you want to either disagree with or agree with in terms of topics? Because I know from sitting there and listening to shows and just not being able to say anything and just like yapping in chat sometimes isn't enough. Sometimes you gotta get some shit off. So get some shit off real quick.
I don't have anything that's like, I'm just like itching to get off. I mean, I'm looking forward to the Lions season. I think in regards to the whole like quarterback depth chart situation, I think Hendon Hooker is the clear QB number 2. I just think that Dan Campbell's not going to label him that until, unless he ends up needing to be bumped up from QB 2 to 1 if Goff gets hurt. I think people are going to clamor for Hooker to take over at the slightest hiccup, and we've seen with Goff over the last 3 years, like through thick and tall, big and small, like he's been our guy, and we just need to button up a few things, tighten up on defense, and like we got that Super Bowl right in the bag.
I like it. That's a lot of hype. Dante's saying my mic is not working, but I have levels on there. So let me know if it's not, but it looks like it is. So I guess we'll just play it by ear. Hopefully it is. I guess maybe let me just.
Yo, if Mike Reed's still in the chat, can you hear Justin at all, Mike? Maybe it's an issue with the speakers. I mean, if Dante can hear Joel and I.
It's very quiet. It seems. Let me see if that does something to it. Maybe that will do something to it. Maybe I will just have to go to the other mic, and this will be a quick project on this microphone, and it will go right back into the box. But here, let me just try one more time. So, say something, you guys, while I figure this out.
Yo. As you talk about like putting the microphone back in the box, like for some reason that like flashed into my head.
My dick in the box.
No, it's not like it's not. I don't think it's like. Is it Prospector Pete from Toy Story 2? When like him and Jesse are like crying like, I will not go back in the box.
I can't remember a scene from Toy Story. Which one is Toy Story 2?
That's the one where Woody gets kidnapped by the chicken man. There's a dog, and
the chicken.
They have to go on the
grown man with that glass.
They have to go on the rescue mission to save him. Yeah, he's the grown man.
Yeah, I haven't seen Toy Story in forever. I can't even tell you.
It also has the really cool airport scene at the end, like with the luggage carousels moving around, and then you have Bullseye racing against the plane. Yeah, that's awesome. I love animals.
Dog everywhere.
What's the dog's name? What's the dog's name? Do you guys know?
Oh shit! He told me the other day.
I have no clue.
I don't know.
Bro, with the face you just made,
dude, yeah, that's coming from a dog lover over here. Like, I love my dog, and like she comes to school with me.
No, that's why he knew I was telling the truth.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't take her everywhere. Like, I wouldn't bring her into work, but I do take her.
Bro, so that mean that dog was just sitting in the car
What's your
for
dog's
2
name?
hours.
Bailey.
Bailey.
Golden Lab. And then I also have 2 other dogs, but that one is like mine specifically. I take her to school every year, and I take care of her, so there's no other really anyone who has any responsibility for her other than me. So I love her. She's awesome. And then I also have a husky named Frosty. Shout out. She's like 13 or 14 years old. She's very, very old for a husky, and she's doing good. She actually beat cancer last year. So
Oh wow! Congrats to Husky.
she's a beast. And then we have, my last dog is an idiot. His name is Bandit. He's an English setter. He's a hunting dog. Like, in reality, he's like the most timid, anxiety-ridden dog that you've ever seen in your life. But then he gets on a hunt. Like, he gets on the hunt, and he becomes this fierce dog, and it's absolutely wild to watch.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Honestly, he literally is. That's a great comp for him. I should have my dad watch that show. The Toy
Dog,
Collector, yeah.
Bro,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
just reminded me when your dad, like, I, like, remember your dad constantly whenever I'm playing the game. Like, whenever I get in certain situations, I just remember how, like, animated and excited he was.
Oh, I've been online before playing video games, and like before I had a headset, I like played off of, like, the PlayStation Playroom, so you could like hear everything in the background, and you could just talk. So I was playing Madden, and I was losing, and I was trying to bring a comeback, and I had the ball, and every single like time something bad happened, he just started talking shit, and this dude is laughing at me on the other side of the mic. He's like, "Oh, yo, even your dad's talking shit to you. Even your dad's on your ass."
Bro, my dad be doing that. Bro, he literally just sit down and, like, say I get sacked. He be like, "Oh, he got your number, huh?" I just be like, bro, it's online gameplay. Like, sometimes you get blown out. Sometimes you do the blowing out. It's just the way it go.
Yeah, I've realized over my years since Fortnite, because I used to be really good at Fortnite and a competitive Fortnite player, and that's not to flex or anything because it's honestly embarrassing, but I played that game way too much. On a different note, how hard it is to be elite at Madden and like college football, because I don't know if any of you watch Kurt Benkert at all, but like,
I only see the clips.
I've seen him.
I'll
Yeah.
never be on that dude's level. I will never be able to just straight up read a defense like that. And then make those.
See, I ain't gonna lie. When I
Well, he was in the NFL though.
I
so-
was about to
know.
say that, and I was gonna say
But like,
certain
he still
times.
lose games, is what I'm saying. Like, I mean, he has some of the highest football IQ
It's-
out of anyone
it's a
who's
fucking
playing.
video
yeah, there's a
game.
reason why he's not in the NFL anymore. And he's playing Madden.
I mean, that is true. I mean, but he was never physically gifted enough to play in the NFL. He probably was mentally
He
gifted enough.
He was a backup on the Packers.
Exactly. He was mentally
No,
gifted
he's saying like
enough.
he wasn't like he didn't have like no
Oh.
crazy intangibles.
Yeah, I'm talking like the Josh Allen level intangibles, like the Mahomes. If he had those intangibles, he probably would have been pretty successful in the NFL. Because if you are a quarterback at that size, that stature, without the intangibles, it's purely because.
Well, Braylon made a perfect analogy for it today. He said they're like golf caddies, and like he's like the golf caddy probably is a good golfer, but they just like not consistent enough to do it. But like they got a lot of knowledge of the game, they just don't have enough to like put it together consistently. So he was like, that's what most like backup quarterbacks are. They good enough to make it to the NFL. They're good enough. Like they have a great knowledge of the game. It's just those little things here consistently. Like, and it's really like those honestly make the best coaches too. If you peep it,
Yeah.
like Brad Stevens, like most of the best coaches are like failed players. That's why I think I could be a great coach. Yeah. Cause I know like I'd be like, all right, I probably should have did this, so this is what y'all need to do.
Yeah.
Well, like, yeah, I mean, they have to, like, you know, obviously, like you said, they don't have the intangibles or, like the given skills, so they have to work a lot harder to, like, work on the aspects of the game they can improve, try to learn different areas, you know, and different weaknesses to take advantage of. So, I mean, definitely, like you
Kevin
said, Joel.
O'Connell, great example. Sean McVay, great example. Like these are all players. They just
They don't
didn't have
have the intangibles.
they just didn't have everything that it took to put it together. But they great minds out there.
Yeah. That's why I believe. I'm with you. I believe I could be a great coach one day. I mean, I wish that because I don't know if you guys know this, but I was a president on my hockey team for.
You said it like 100 times.
Chase might have not known that,
I
though.
was like, Chase be in the chat. What we talking about?
I guess that's true. So
Where do you go to school again, Justin?
Western, as you know, fire down chips all day.
Oh,
Anyway.
he fired back.
Yeah, I mean, it's a light rivalry. Like, it's nothing like. See, all right, let's talk about this for a second. The difference between the Central rivalry and Western rivalry versus the Michigan versus Michigan State rivalry is like completely different. Like, yeah, we say, fuck the chips, fire down chips, and all that shit. But at the end of the day, like, we'll go get drunk together. Like, we could care less about the sports. Like, we're just there to have a good time and honestly to chirp each other. That's what I'd say that rivalry is. Michigan versus Michigan State, there actually is a cold-hearted care for the sports being played. And
I wouldn't even say it's a sports. It's more so when you go to the schools, you damn near just don't it's damn near if y'all really, really be immersed in it, it's completely different people. It's completely different.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
It's a completely different vibe. So that's why
I don't think
that's what I said. It's not sports legit damn near if you put most times take away the school. If you put somebody that's a Michigan person and a Michigan State person in an area where they probably got to work together, bro, is it only two outcomes and there's no in between. They're either gonna butt heads or they're gonna be best friends, because that's what happens when you put two polar opposites together. So, and I think that's what you see a lot of times. Because a prime example is Braylon. Braylon could really just be shitting on me every day that I go to Michigan State. But I told him from the jump, I'm like, bro, like I tell everybody, I went to Michigan State, bro, to get education, have fun, and I won't say it. I'll leave out the third part. Well, no, I'll say it. Fuck hoes. And I did all three. So I'm like, bro, I really don't care about all the other shit. When I would be up at Michigan though, I just didn't like the vibe of the campus. I just truly just that. It's shit like that. I think, like I said, it's not even sports.
No, you can tell when you walk on Michigan's campus. You can tell. There is a element of upper class, feng shui, bougie. There is a big element of that, and there is not at State. And that's nothing against Michigan State, because
we don't even consider ourselves bougie.
No, and honestly, it's the way that you should want to be, because you don't want to feel I feel, because as a Michigan fan, I do not like a lot of our fan base straight up. Even the people who didn't go there still act
That's what it'd be for me. The people that didn't go, I'd be like, bro.
Saying leaders and best and that bullshit with all when all that stuff was going on, that just genuinely pisses me off. I have no problem admitting that Michigan cheated, and no one else should either. You see what's going on in Georgia right now, with the driving stuff. That shit is so screwy, and any Georgia fan will be like, yeah, who cares? We're gonna win the Natty this year. That's how it is in college football, and I think that Michigan fans are honestly just a bunch of old heads stuck in the past.
No, bro. That's what I would be so curious about, because I'm like, bro, I'd be completely honest. Growing up, I was a Michigan fan. So I'm like, bro, most of the time where I was cheering for them, they were fucking losing. So I'm like, where are y'all getting all this winning culture shit from? But then you talk to them, like you said, they be old heads, so they talking to me about Charles Woodson and shit. And now the thing that I do when I be having takes with certain people, when they act like I'm supposed to just prime example of that, when they talking about Michigan, this winning culture and shit, act like I have seen that. Then I'm like, bro, I'm born in 2002. I'm like, what I've seen is completely different from what you've seen, bro. Yeah. So I'm like, to me, bro, I'm like, Michigan hasn't been this just dominate punch everybody in their mouth team.
And that's a great point by you, because I think it's especially true for me, because I grew up, State owned us, Ohio State owned us. We were in the gutter.
It would be some bad seasons.
One of my first couple seasons watching Michigan was the Denard Robinson year, and that's as best as we got for so long. And because of that fact, now I'm just
you didn't like Devin Gardner?
Devin Gardner was low-key mid as fuck.
I did like Devin Gardner, but he was mid. That's straight.
He would have a good game here.
He would play so amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then he would have, his low was low. It was how did he even get the starting job?
Him in that Ohio State game was so brutal.
You never believed in John O'Corn?
Hell no.
Hell no. Oh my God.
Shea Patterson was one that I used to probably be
I believe
maybe.
You believed in Shea Patterson?
I used to like maybe it's something there, maybe. But even with him, I wasn't too much.
Shea Patterson showed me like how close we were. Like you literally just.
I think Wilton Spade showed you how close you were.
That too.
I think Jake Rudock and Wilton Spade got you closer than Shea Patterson.
That is. See, but I agree with that because of the fact that when we moved from Shea Patterson to Cade McNamara, because Wilton Spade showed me you don't need an elite quarterback to win in college football. You just need someone who can make the right play at the right time. And I think that's kind of where my outlook on quarterbacks switched around.
I mean, you don't need an elite quarterback to win in the NFL. Look at the 49ers with Brock Purdy. He's
That's
not elite.
And that's why I say this year, Ohio State, like Will Howard might be the best thing for that program because he is just a consistent level game manager who can get the ball to the right place, hand the ball, and not like Kyle McCord to his core was still a true pocket passer who made some much riskier throws than you'll see from Will Howard this year. I think that this level of consistency is a lot like what Michigan needed with Cade McNamara for Ohio State to try to beat Michigan.
I don't think it's an issue of quarterback play for Ohio State. I think ever since Greg Schiano took the head coaching job at Rutgers, we were talking about that a little earlier too. They haven't had
great coach.
They haven't been nearly as tough on defense, specifically the defensive line. Ohio State used to own the defensive line, and Michigan has just mauled them at the line of scrimmage the last 3 years. Yeah, no, that's why they keep beating them.
I was just literally just about to say that's literally why they've been winning. Like that, literally take everything away. That simple fact alone that they have had a way better pass rush for the last 3 years. The C.J. Stroud game, you saw it the most. Like the first time when they beat him with Hutchinson and Ojabo just blitzing them off both edges. It was like he really had nothing to do all day.
Real. Speaking of C.J. Stroud too, I know Ryan's reaction in the chat asked us to like blindly rank this upcoming season. C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love, Caleb Williams, and Bo Nix. I happen to name them like that because Ryan's reaction, that is how I would order them leading into this next season. C.J. Stroud was consistent all throughout last year. Jordan Love, he was good for half the year. I'm going to put both those guys ahead of the rookies. I'm going to put Caleb Williams over Bo Nix. I think he's the better prospect.
I think I'm lockstep with you. I think I'm the same way.
I would put Jordan Love above C.J. Stroud.
That's fair.
That's fair.
I would do that for the simple fact that, one, C.J. Stroud has been in his system for years already.
He was a rookie last year.
No, I'm saying, but he just didn't play. No, he wasn't a rookie.
Oh, you're talking about
he actually did lace up.
You're talking about Jordan Love.
Yeah, that's
my bad.
Yeah, he laced up because he laced up for like a couple games, like here and there.
Yeah.
So he didn't have his rookie status last year.
I hear you. I think
just for the simple fact that he'd been in the system already. Matt LaFleur clearly wanted him. They clearly saw something in him in those years back. What did he get drafted? 4 years ago now? I think. Yeah. And then really looking at his mechanics, that's the scariest thing about him when I look at him. I'm like, fuck, he actually looks like a good mechanically sound quarterback. Like, that's where it get a little scary. And then it's just the way that he was able to operate with Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, Dontavian Wicks, and Jaden Reed, and then all of them being in and out at different times of the year. That's why I'm like, damn, Jordan Love is a little scary.
I think he's a good quarterback. I just put C.J. Stroud over Jordan Love in my ranking just because we saw C.J. Stroud consistently all throughout last year play at the same level, whereas Jordan Love throughout.
I would say C.J. Stroud didn't start off. He didn't start off bad, but he didn't start off like uber crazy shit.
He wasn't crazy, but I think he remained steady and continued to grow. I think we saw a lower valley out of Jordan Love than we did C.J. Stroud last year. So just basing it off of last season, heading into next year. But I mean, I don't think either team should be like upset with who their quarterback is.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would say CJ, I like the intangibles more. I think he's got more arm talent. I think he's slightly better improviser than Jordan Love, but that could be obviously argued pretty quickly. I think it's a slight edge for me on CJ Stroud going into this season, but I expect CJ Stroud to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league this year. Jordan Love, a little bit lower than him, but I'd say the gap will be bigger mid-season than it is now. Personally.
And I see Ryan's reaction in the chats. He has
which is wild.
A similar ranking. He has C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love, but he puts Bo Nix over Caleb Williams with his own rankings. He doesn't seem to be a huge fan of Caleb Williams. So
which is wild.
Bo Nix time, man. Then I tell you they finna make the playoffs, man.
What up, Sandra?
Yeah, shout out Sandy. Thanks for tuning in. But let's go really Sparty. OSU has been building like a Big 12 team, not going to cut it in the ground and pound style against Michigan in the trenches, but they can still contend with other big teams.
I think also too. That's all. Now that I'm really thinking about it, I think that's always what OSU has more so cared about is, like, more. I guess more so like in the last 7 to 10 years, really thinking about it, they've more so cared about just being able to beat those elite teams, like, because I guess the way it's set up now, like, you can try to focus on building an all-around Big Ten team and then win the Big Ten, but then you're going to be like, damn, now we got to play a spread-it-out style Pac-12 team in the CFP, so it's like, fuck, what are we going to do? So it's like, I think they just been...
Styles make fights. We were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah, but I think we've seen, too, like, usually, like, that, like, smash mouth, like, we're going to own the line of scrimmage instead of like spread you out. Like we usually see those teams like beat up on the spread. You have to have
well, it really, and I would say in those games, right, it damn near depend on who is able to put their blueprint on the game first.
Yeah, well, it's all about
if the
personnel.
spread it out team like gets ahead, and now the team that's just used to pounding you out has to try to play catch up, they're like, fuck. And then it's vice versa with now you gotta try to beat you spread it out team, and now you gotta try to beat the ground and pound team after they can just establish the ground and pound. It's like, we're fucked. So it's like, in that game, it's just more so. In a game like that, it would just be more so who impose a will first, in my opinion.
CJ has a flurry of weapons around him, too, along with a softer division, which is completely true. Let's go Red Ice Party, and it's a great point that he will be able to feast off a worse division than the NFC North.
I don't think the AFC South is worse than the West. I think the South is a tougher division than the West. I think you just have
versus the NFC North.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about like.
No, he was talking about CJ Stroud versus Jordan Love.
Oh, okay. I guess
So,
I was mixing that up with Bo Nix. I was looking at the chat underneath it, so that's my fault.
OSU is built more to face SEC teams.
Yeah, I was just reading that.
But they get whooped by Missouri in that bowl game.
I don't even think nobody really even played it.
No, they didn't play it. They didn't play a lot of their starters. They were missing Marv.
They need to figure out a way to like combat that.
It's the playoff. I mean, that's what they're trying to, and then they're going to extend it even more.
But it damn near feel like now that since they've made the playoff so much more wider, not now the teams that don't make it to the playoff, they're going to be even more inclined to be like, yeah.
I mean, well, bowl season was expanding for the longest time under the BCS era, and then once we got into the playoff era, a lot of teams just started to take on that mentality of, nothing matters outside of the championship. Which, I mean, this is athletics. This is not sport. They're playing a sport, but these are athletic programs that are trying to win. That's what the basis of athletics is the goal is to win, not for fun, not for exercise, not for recreation. That's sport. Sport is for fun. Athletics is to win. These programs, I mean, if you can't win it all, what's the point in even trying?
No, it's like, we could say, we went to the Tostinos. What's they?
Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, we went to the Fiesta Bowl.
PlayStation Fiesta Bowl.
Now it is, yeah.
I forgot. Yeah.
Verbo. No, now it's Verbo.
It's gone around.
I thought Verbo was Orange Bowl.
Oh my God.
The Discover Orange Bowl.
It was Verbo when I went to the Fiesta Bowl to watch TCU and Michigan play.
Used to be the Discover Orange Bowl for the longest time.
Yeah, it's whoever pockets deeper.
All-State Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, whoever pockets deeper at the moment.
Cut the check. That's all they care about.
Really.
Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl.
That
Which,
makes sense.
I don't even remember the Peach Bowl being an actual bowl. I feel like
Peach Bowl.
and I might be wrong. Maybe somebody in the chat can help, school me up a little bit. But I don't remember that.
If I
being
remember correctly, it's always.
I don't remember that being like the New Year's Six.
No, it was not always in the New Year's Six.
It
wasn't.
No, because you had orange, sugar, rose, Fiesta, cotton. It was those five, and I think the Cotton Bowl was kind of like the odd one out. Like
and then the championship game was the sixth game. The BCS championship game was the sixth game of the New Year's Six.
You just have
then they added the Peach Bowl to be the sixth game when they moved the national title game off of the New Year's Day.
I gotcha.
Or New Year's Eve. It depends what year it is.
Yeah, I just remember the Peach Bowl coming up out of nowhere, and I mean, like I said, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know everything, but
bro, now that you say that,
I just like
Peach Bowl feel like a fever dream because Michigan State played in that shit.
They played in the Cotton Bowl. When they
play Pitt, they play in the Peach Bowl.
Oh, no. We're talking about, was that Brian Lewerke's last year?
No, this was like 2021.
Yeah,
Yeah, the playoff was going on at that point, though. That's when they added the Beach Bowl to the.
I remember what he's talking about because Michigan State played Pitt because Pat Narduzzi was the former D coordinator.
And they needed 6 bowls to have an even amount of semifinal games.
Yeah, because you have
and bowl games. My bad, Joel.
No, you good.
But a couple comments in here. I'm gonna read. Shout out Allen W. Always in here. Is it crazy to say I think Jaden Daniels will be better than Caleb because his division is way easier?
Jaden Daniels' division not easier.
I wouldn't say it by much. I mean, he's still got to play the Eagles twice a year.
Yeah, that's what.
The Cowboys twice a year.
That Giants defense twice a year.
Yeah, that Giants defense is not. That D line is gonna be a.
Yeah, that's
bitch.
what I was about to say.
Yeah, they have a very good pass rush.
Ryan Burns, Dexter Lawrence,
Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah, they got a whip over there.
And then I think people are forgetting too. They traded last offseason for Isaiah Simmons, who's kind of like that hybrid linebacker safety.
He's been solid for them. What you call? Who else over there?
Someone finally used him right. Screw you, Cardinals.
I think that was the year we drafted Jeff Okudah, correct?
Yeah.
I really wanted us to either take Isaiah Simmons or I really like Derek Brown. I think Derek Brown's very underrated.
I was fucking with Isaiah Simmons.
I was on the Derek Brown hype train.
My thing was, I'm like, bro, like he could just be used anyway. Like, we need it. Because I think that, if I remember correctly, that was like around the time too when the Rams had started using Jalen Ramsey everywhere.
Well, like if you think about it too, like that Sam linebacker spot that we've been trying to figure out with like they put James Houston and I forget who else they were trying to like put out there. But it's like that Sam linebacker's position in the Lions defense that Aaron Glenn likes to run, you need to be a hybrid. Like if like Brian Branch would be perfect as the Sam linebacker if he was like 6'1", maybe, but he's a little too small to like be in the box all the time and play in coverage. Like, I think you want someone a little bit bigger, but I mean, like Isaiah Simmons on our defense, like with like Brian Branch, like that'd be very nice.
That'd be crazy. But at the same time, all those redrafts and stuff, there's always will be something that changes over the course of history. Like there's no telling the tale that you would have got.
I mean, I like building a defense inside out. I mean, like even going back to the Hutch draft, I was more of a fan of Jordan Davis over Hutch just because, like, I like to build inside out. If you control the middle of the defensive line and then you swallow the pocket and then you work around getting the edge. But
I'd say at D tackle though, there's more of an ability to rotate versatile players who can play a specific role, like where you can have a run stop. I think there's a more plethora of run stoppers than there are elite edge rushers like Hutchinson.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, and like I said, it's I'm not the one building the team or anything. I'm happy with Hutch on the team. I just I just based all of my my reasoning on the the pairing we had with Ndamukong Suh and Nick Fairley. I mean, we had one of the best defenses in the league for the longest time. We also had DeAndre Levy, Stephen Tulloch. I mean, our secondary was but our front seven was very, very tough, and we dominated the line of scrimmage, and I miss that. I see us being able to like really form the pocket, but then that middle of the pocket is the quarterback can just run right up the middle. We don't have anyone who's collapsing it. We don't have anyone who's like forcing the center back on the quarterback. I really wish we had I think DJ Reader's gonna be awesome. Like I'm excited to have him.
I'm so excited for DJ Reader. That's such a huge signing for us. Joel, it seemed like you had something to say in the middle of that.
No, I don't even. No, it was really she walked by. I'm like, bro. Every time she walked by, man, I don't know.
Joel's in love.
No, I'm not even in love. It's just,
I'm kidding.
It's crazy, bro. Cause y'all in the chat probably see some of the.
He's like Meg. They got that solo from you seen Hercules when she's singing.
I've never seen Hercules.
I'm not. Oh, that's a great movie. I love that song
Disney
too.
Cartoon?
Yeah, that's the movie. Yeah, but I'm not gonna sing it. I love that song. Very good. I think it's Susan something is the chick who actually sings it. Very good, powerful.
Susan B. Anthony.
No, I have it saved on my phone.
Susan
it's in my
Boyle?
Spotify playlist.
But no, yeah, bro.
Hercules has an amazing soundtrack. If you guys are into those Disney films.
You know who has a great soundtrack? Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Susan Egan.
Low hanging fruit.
I'm not even talking about the rap album. I'm not. No, not that one. Not that one.
What you call it?
I'm talking about the second one. The second one, they had a rap album that was made by Metro Boomin, and then also the composer Daniel Pemberton also has absolutely fire beats. So it's the mix of the two. It's not just one or the other.
You know, my favorite album of all time is actually Kendrick's album he made for Black Panther.
That's insane.
I'm just kidding. I don't think he actually made a whole album either. But
No, I'm saying that would be your favorite album of all time. That's what I was saying.
I've never really seen the movie. I was just joking around.
Bro, never seen Black
You've
Panther.
never seen Black Panther?
Anti-black.
I am
It's like,
not. I'm
Hey,
not.
Chase is a racist. Chase is a racist. I'm kidding.
I'm not a Marvel fan.
You saw it.
I think Marvel is trash.
I'm damn near with you there. Yeah, no. I really don't fuck with superhero movies like that.
Just breaking my heart over here.
I mean, like I'll watch them. And like I like powered through Captain America because I like this girl I was trying to like smash, but
I only watched
I'm in a room with
only
Avengers.
watched Avengers, and I didn't watch all 3 in theaters. I watched the first one in when the first one come out, like didn't they have like one before they?
Chat, help me out.
I went on my first date to the first Marvel movie. My first date ever was to the Marvel
But I'm
movie.
saying, didn't they drop
Shout
like
out
an
Chelsea
Avengers in like
McIntyre.
2013?
Dropping the names crazy. What'd you say?
Didn't they drop an Avengers in like 2013?
Yeah, that was Avengers 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like way back then. Yeah,
Then they had
Shout out Nick.
yeah. Then they had another one. Then they started to 3.
tailgate wins popping by.
But yeah,
The
no.
boy.
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I never fucked with that shit, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I just
Cause the
I think it's
motherfucker,
lazy.
bro, that's funny. Cause I literally say all the time, I'm like, bro, a superhero movie can damn near like always do numbers.
It's lazy.
Like, bro, it damn near
I'll
is.
agree. Some of them
It
are
damn near.
lazy.
I would say
I think-
it's lazy for the fact that it's like the storyline. No matter how much complexity you add to it, it's gonna stay the same. It's gonna be a problem here because something is lost or something needs to be found or somebody trying to take something. Then somebody got to get together, either on their own or get the help of somebody else, and then they solve the problem.
For me personally, I'm just like to take like something like a comic book and like to make it into like a single one-off film is different, but like just to like try to build out an entire like filmography around an established story, I find just like I already said lazy, but it's just such like a I don't even know how to describe it. I think
Cash
it's
grab.
not even just a cash grab. It's like it lacks any bravery or courageousness to dive into your
Low-hanging
own
fruit.
creativity and try to put something out there that may or may not be appreciated or enjoyed by others. But I think there's no
That
risk
shit
involved.
ass. Get this shit off the airways.
This may be the last episode of this podcast. I'm kidding.
But no,
I mean, I'm with you on, some of them can be repetitive. I mean, they have a formula that they use 100%. But I just think if they can keep it unpredictable, if they actually can have twists, if they actually can make it right, I
mean, like I just see the budgets for those movies, and I think about how much they spent just to make it, and how much they've spent on like 27 films in total, and I think about like how much better that money could have been spent.
that's actually right.
but like
'Cause
they
I would
make
say
more
to-
money though than they
But
invest.
I
it's
would say
making the money for the people who also spent that money. So yeah, they're making their investment, but it's just like at the end of the day, like, was it? It wasn't necessary. It wasn't really necessary. Like there's better things. Like think about how like much that money could have helped your favorite college team's NIL fund.
Man, I'm thinking he talking about use it on some other movies or some shit. He talking about NIL. But no, to put it in perspective, like the type of movies I like shit like Pulp Fiction, like
Yeah, take
what else? Like
take the big pie that is the money for the Marvel movies and go try to make like 3 Pulp Fictions. Even if only one of the 3 like ends up being a banger like that.
No,
like at least
literally.
you
got another timeless classic.
Hey, motto of the Special Olympics: win or lose, let me be brave in the attempt.
Moon Knight. I've never heard of Moon Knight.
That's a Marvel show on Disney Plus. It's about like some dude who like becomes like this.
I love that show.
He's like a mummy or something like that.
No,
It's
not at all.
hey,
Not
if you want the Cliff Notes version of Marvel, like I can break down all of the movies for you in like 5 minutes. Just let me go read the plot on Wikipedia, and then literally in the snap of a finger, I can tell you the whole movie.
Dude, this slander is ridiculous.
Hey,
Straight up.
Central Michigan College of Broadcast Cinematic Arts. So
Damn,
Fire
all
up,
right.
fire
Hey,
up.
shout out Spirit of Detroit for tuning in.
Yeah, I just saw that. He said
Yeah, he
he's
said-
siding with Chase.
He is. That guy in the yellow shirt is absolutely correct. He's thinking in existential terms, and that's something Lions fans ain't used to. He's going to be of value to the YouTube space.
Hey, appreciate you, Spirit of Detroit. Thank you.
So, I mean, in terms of, let me use this word correctly, existential terms, but the reason that Marvel is so good is because it's an institution. And the difference between the Lions and Marvel is the fact that the Lions are no institution.
I was just about to say, are they both not an institution?
Marvel is an institution because no matter what they make, they're gonna make money.
Marvel as an institution.
That's sad because that's why their product has gone down in the last couple of years.
If you want Marvel's comparison for an institution, it's that I Promise school that LeBron James just poured all of his money into.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You don't know about that?
Dude, Marvel makes people's careers.
I'm sure LeBron James' school has done that for other kids too.
That's
like
not
he just
true.
pour money into that.
They have one of the lowest graduation rates in Ohio.
Education is always going to be what helps move the needle forward. Whether or not you finish, that's entirely up to you. He can't be the one. You know, he's not promising they're all going to get the degree, but he's promising the opportunity. Dude, Marvel's just different strokes, different folks, man. I don't like Marvel.
You can not like Marvel, but this is hate. This counts as the hater category. Right. We always talk about the fact that you have to be one side or the other. That's never true. Right, two things can be true. This is not one of those scenarios. You are not in the two things can be true space. You are a Marvel hater straight up.
I'm cool with being labeled a Marvel hater. I've actually poured in the blood, sweat, and tears. I've actually wrote 2 scripts myself, so I know what it takes, like the creativity aspect of it, the time and effort to actually pour into like formulating not only just a good script, but a good story, good characters, good setting, good background. Like, so I've done this to an extent. I've never had anything like published or made into like an actual like film or like show or anything like that. But I mean, I've done the practice of it.
Ryan's reaction is saying whatever. I don't even know what age he said, but that's exactly what I was thinking. I just didn't say it.
So tell me right now that Deadpool Wolverine was made for 10-year-olds when they said fuck 100 times.
Here, I'm gonna give you
bloody gore.
My mama let me see Ted when I was like 11. Parents don't give a fuck.
I'm gonna give you a great example of what Marvel is. Okay, I love the Transformers trilogy with Shia LaBeouf. Arguably, they're not very good movies. I still love them. You can like them while they're still not good.
You cannot say that you. Oh my god.
Those
are dude.
No,
I might walk out of the studio.
I acknowledge like, look, they are not good movies. I enjoy watching them.
All right.
It's like McDonald's. McDonald's is not good for you.
There's a lot of Marvel movies that are like that for me. But there are masterpieces that they have created throughout the MCU that are legitimately. Like, not just because they're Marvel movies, are great movies.
Sean,
like,
what is he saying? Sunshine on the dog ass twice a day.
Infinity War and Endgame will go down as 2 of the greatest movies of this century.
They just took They took one movie and they split it in 2 for the money. Dude, nothing Marvel has ever done, nothing Marvel ever will do is going to ever come close.
Well, they're not going to make a 5-hour movie.
Marvel can never.
No, they could have just did.
Everyone loves to say Marvel over DC, Marvel over DC. Marvel will never, ever, ever make any movie close to The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Returns. Ever, hands down, fact. Those are 2
Don't
cinematic.
Joker count under DC?
Yeah, that's what I'm
talking about. The Dark Knight.
I'm just talking about the Christian Bale Batman movies.
Oh, you're just saying pure Batman.
I'm just saying, like, if we're talking about superhero movies and comic book adaptations, there was not going to be anything ever that tops The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Returns. Those are 2, like, the second and third in a trilogy, but, like, those are 2 just phenomenal pieces of cinema, and Marvel cannot. They couldn't even sniff that fart from 10 miles away if they wanted to.
Yeah, no, Marvel don't got a movie that's fucking with Joker. If Joker's under DC...
The characters alone of that Tom Hardy and Heath Ledger portray and adapt for those films just clear anything that Marvel could even think of. Stan Lee, like, eats the toilet paper that Christopher Nolan wiped his butt with to make those movies.
Crazy, bro. That is wild.
You said you wanted some clips.
I will say, The Dark Knight, in terms of plot, star power, like all those things. Yes, Dark Knight probably the greatest superhero movie of all time. I'll give you that. But to say that Marvel could never touch that is absolute blasphemy.
They can't, dude. I could go on about the Dark Knight.
Spider-Man, the second one, is at least at the table.
We could spend a week's worth of shows talking about just the Dark Knight. You realize the Joker is the actual good guy in the whole Dark Knight movie because he's the one who defeats the mob. He's the one who takes out all their money. He's the one, like, obviously he's also the bad guy. He's a very complex character, but that's like it goes into why that movie and the Dark Knight Returns as well are truly unmatched.
Here we go. No, hold on, I'm cutting you off for this one. Spirit of Detroit, after backing your ass up, Marvel's a good franchise and Infinity War murders the Dark Knight. How you feel about that?
Hey, Spirit of Detroit, appreciate
Recency
your
bias.
Compliments, and I'll always listen to what you have to say, but at the end of the day, what you eat doesn't make me shit, so I don't care.
Dark Knight isn't even the best Batman movie. That's what Ryan says.
Hey, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Doesn't mean your opinion's right.
Doesn't mean your opinion's right either.
That's fine. I'll go home and I'll look at my film degree from CMU and I'll feel a little bit more confident with my opinions. Like I said, doesn't mean anything though.
He said he Roger Ebert. That's who he is.
Yeah, pulling out the degree is nasty work.
No,
I mean, I'm not coming from nowhere with this. It's not like I just roamed in off the street.
Bro,
or was just
Spirit
like,
of Detroit damn near gave your new name. We got Flannel Sam, now we got Yellow Shirt.
just yellow shirt. No, I don't want my whole identity to become me wearing the color
you're
yellow.
Have to buy yellow shirts now. You're gonna have to
Bro,
invest.
here, bro, whatever the first thing you get called, that's damn
Yo.
near what sticks.
I was called Korean Jesus the first day I was on the mic. That evolved to Jesus in the first week I was here.
Pete called me power legs earlier because there's power neck.
I was about to say, see, no, it got to be something completely different.
It usually doesn't come from Pete either.
Yeah,
Joel Go Green Blanding. That did not stick at all.
Yeah, no, Pete put that. What you call? Braylon just called me Jay Green, but nobody else. I didn't even tell nobody else called me that.
I'm 26. I've never had a nickname, so.
Well, yeah. I thought you was like.
You've never had a nickname before?
No.
That's insane.
My cousin, there's nothing really that has ever fit, you know. So.
All right, last thing on this topic, and it's already 5:00. Holy shit.
Fuck it.
We started arguing.
We could go 5 minutes over.
Yeah, because I need to pull one thing up. Because, yes, I'll give you the fact that Dark Knight is
Bro, his reaction to about stop calling another man power.
How many
neck.
subs are you guys at right now?
Yeah.
All right, if you guys give him to 150, I'll change my name on you to Yellow Shirt for the.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah.
In the chat.
Subs. He will change his name to.
No, that's not that. We gotta give
him
him 200. We gotta get 200 for that. That's something that's permanent.
Yeah, that's a permanent name. 200 for the permanent.
200 for Yellow Shirt. That's up to you guys if you want it to stick. So.
All right.
Heath Ledger carried the Dark Knight.
In terms of
Heath Ledger died for that role.
Dude, Christian Bale is amazing. If you don't like Christian Bale, go watch The Prestige and then come talk to me afterwards.
All right, we're on lockstep on that. If you don't watch Christian Bale and you don't like him, you can go fuck yourself. Straight up. Christian Bale is so goated.
He's like my favorite actor of all time. Like my personal goat.
That's a very valid favorite actor.
My personal goat. And I didn't get to see all of the young De Niro's and I really like some of Marlon Brando's works that I've seen. Haven't got to indulge in all of them. I have seen a lot of Christian Bale. He's my favorite that I've seen.
Will you at least agree that in totality, Marvel has better movies than DC?
In totality, are you talking about all of the Marvel movies
you
and all?
You don't even have to count the mid ones on either side.
Yeah,
just the good movies in terms of making good production.
If you're talking about quantity, yes, Marvel has put out a larger quantity.
No, I'm not talking about the quantity because obviously the quantity is a lot more. I'm talking about the good movies. Both sides only taking the good movies. Marvel has better good movies.
You know, because DC dropped Captain Marvel.
You just have
that shit was pretty weak.
Captain Marvel sucked.
The only thing that carries DC is the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy. That carries all of the weight. It carries a lot of weight though. It's like tungsten compared to aluminum.
Being really on the premium of Marvel movies. I won't even say movies that are kind of on the cusp. I'd say the A-level movies for Marvel are Endgame, Infinity War, No Way Home, Captain America Winter Soldier, Doctor Strange, Civil War, First Avengers, Captain America the First Avengers, and then probably just Iron Man 1 and Avengers Age of Ultron, maybe one of the 2 Spider-Man movies. But other than that, you kind of got to cut it there. Those are the A level. I'm willing to argue.
I forgot
Marvel
about
movies.
Iron Man. Iron Man do go crazy.
Like those movies are really good superhero movies.
I haven't seen Iron Man.
You haven't?
The 08 one?
All right, we're
that,
ending there.
No, I was about to say that's why I was like, I forgot.
Iron Man.
Chase just said it's invalid.
I don't like Iron Man.
Right
I've seen Iron Man too.
All right, but he hasn't seen. All right. Invalid. You might as well just delete this whole episode. This has been YingYangSports. That's Joel. That's Chase. I'm Justin. Peace out.